Everyone, it's Tenta Heidi on this second Sunday in September. I really hope that the start of this last week has been good to you. For some of you, it means that you are learning school from home, or perhaps you're too little yet and you're not able to go to school. And for others, it means that you've walked through your school doors for the first time in a while. And I'm sure that brought a whole host of different experiences and emotions for you. It means that you've been able to connect with some friends you haven't seen for a while. You've been able to meet your teachers for the year. And however you are starting your September, I hope that it has been a good experience for you. Before we start, I have two jokes I'd like to share with you. Why can't a nose be 12 inches long? Because then it'd be a foot. A little math humor at the start of the school year. And I think I've said this joke before, but it's hilarious. What do you call cheese that's not yours? Nacho cheese. I hope that brought a smile to your face. Alrighty, so last week we spoke about the word courage. And we spoke about how Peter walked on the water. And he had courage to get out of the boat. He had courage to step on the water. And he's walking towards Jesus. But he lost his courage when he lost sight of Jesus. When he started focusing on all the wind around him, he began to sink. And my encouragement for us was that we would have courage to be bold, to keep our eyes on Jesus, even if there's a lot of noise and disruption going on around us. Because when we keep our eyes on Jesus, we're able to do amazing things. This week, I wanted to talk about the word encourage. The definition of the word encourage is this: to give support, confidence, or hope to someone. I'm going to read that again. To give support, confidence, or hope to someone. That's the definition of encourage. Isn't that amazing? I love that word hope, to give hope to someone. You know, sometimes when we are confused or scared of all the things that are going on around us, we can kind of lose sight of the important role we have in other people's lives. Sometimes when we're scared, we can only kind of think about what we're going through. And I want to encourage us, there's that word, I want to encourage us to be an encouragement to others. There was a book in the Bible that's the First Thessalonians, and the Apostle Paul wrote this book to a church. And this church was having a bit of a hard time. It was a smaller church, and it was dealing with a lot of issues from the government and the people that are all around it that weren't believers. And Paul was saying, hey, I know it's hard, but I want to write this letter to you. So I think it's kind of neat that there's a whole book in the Bible that's just about encouragement. I mean, there's a lot of verses also about encouragement, but I thought it was really neat that even Paul knew it was important to take time and encourage those around us. The Bible verse I wanted to read to you today is found in chapter 5, verse 11. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. Therefore, encourage one another. Paul is saying to these believers, hey, take time to tell the person beside you, you're doing a good job, or we're in this together, or it's hard, but we're not alone. Take time to encourage one another. When's the last time you took a moment to encourage someone in your family? It's something that I think we kind of do often, but do you really make a point of it? Do you go to your mom or your dad or maybe to your grandma or grandpa and say, hey, I'm really glad I'm here with you. Thanks for everything that you do for me. Or, I know it might be a little bit hard right now, but I'm really glad that we're in it together. Do you know how much that would mean to your family to have you encourage them? I know that I have been blessed by people who have taken the time to send me a note of encouragement, whether it's a card in the mail or an email, even a phone call, for someone to take the time and say, I'm praying for you, and I know that this might be an odd time, but I really appreciate what you're doing. or for my kids to say, thanks so much, Mom, it really does make a world of a difference. And this Bible verse is telling us to encourage one another. And then there's another part of the verse that says, and build each other up. Some of you are real Lego people. I know that a lot. And I even have Lego in Sunday school for you guys to play with sometimes. And the purpose of Lego is to be creative, right? And so you build either what's on the box, or you take random pieces of Lego and do your own creation. But Lego doesn't just always, you can start flat, but really the purpose of Lego is to build it up. That's the goal of Lego, is to build something and to create something beautiful out of these little blocks. The little blocks by themselves don't really mean a whole lot. I mean, if you had a bucket of Lego, you could say, hey, look, I played with Lego. Sure, you play with Lego, but I actually can't see what you're doing with that Lego if it's just stuck in a box. Lego is meant to be built. It has the little round parts on the top, and then underneath of a piece has the part that sticks together, like a little puzzle piece. And these building blocks, when you put them together, can create something incredible. That is what encouragement is. When you take the time to say to someone, hi, just thanks for saving me a seat, or I know that was a really hard time for you, and I'm really proud of how you handled that. It could be a big situation, it could be a little situation, but when we encourage one another, when we give hope to someone, that was that one word in that definition, we build people up so that when stuff comes at them, they know, all right, so this was really hard, but I also have heard many times that people are grateful for me and they're thankful for me and that I'm really good at this, so that when the storm comes our way, we don't just fall apart. Has it ever happened to you? You've built a big Lego tower and maybe someone has come over and knocked it over? Isn't that frustrating, especially when you've put so much time into this creation? Well, encouragement, when we continue to use it as a building block, gives that person strength and makes them stronger, so that when someone does try to topple them over, they don't, because they remember the words of encouragement that they've received. I was very, very blessed to grow up in a family where I was given a lot of encouragement. And that has given me such a great foundation, so that when hard times come my way, I don't just buckle. I don't just fall over. Does that mean that I'm always rock steady? Nope, not at all. Everyone falters, everyone falls, everyone has a hard time. But the more encouragement that I received as a child has given me the strength to stand up again and to continue to move forward in my faith. And you know what? Just because you're little doesn't mean that you can't build up older people around you. In fact, I have received beautiful cards and little notes of encouragement from some of you. And those are the ones I hold so close to my heart. Just because you're little doesn't mean that you can't make a big difference. That's something that I try to encourage you with all the time. Just because you're little doesn't mean that your words can't have a huge impact. So this week coming up, be bold and encourage those around you. Because when we encourage one another, like the Apostle Paul is telling the people in this church, you are able to withstand what's going on all around you. This church is having a hard time. And Paul is saying, encourage one another and build each other up. The last part of the verse is pretty neat. It says, just as in fact you are doing. Paul's saying, you're already doing it. Keep doing it. And it's not that you encourage someone to get your own glory. You're not encouraging someone so that you get credit for it. You're encouraging those around you because you know that your words can make a big difference in someone's life. And you should be proud of that. The opposite, though, can also be true. Your words can also tear people down. Your words can knock over that block of that tower of blocks. So close. Your words can break people down. And my encouragement to you is to be mindful of your words, especially at the start of a brand new school year. Be mindful of your words. Use them to encourage those around you. not to tear people down. Use them to build people up. Because you know what? We're all going through stuff. And when you take the time to say an encouraging word, to give hope or comfort to someone, wow, what a better world this place will be. Even when you're playing with your Lego, you can think of that. You can think of those little blocks as little words of encouragement. And the more we encourage one another, the grander that creation that we're meant to be can become. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this devotional. Be bold, be brave, and take time to encourage those around you.